want to talk about first, man?
Man, you already know we starting. Big C's up, bleed green all day. Very, very rough start. For those watching live and those who will catch the rest of this video that's not live. Sadly to say, the second round has already started, and crazy enough, we gave away a first game loss without Embiid in the lineup. Tough way to start this. Definitely. Some people might have had their prediction going a different way. I never counted them out. I've said it. This is the first time in years, and I've said it all year. This is the first time I'm finally scared of Philly.
Yeah, you
Every
did
year
say that.
before this, I don't care who they had when they had Jimmy, when they had Ben. Like it just none of it bothered me. This year they're deep. They got I don't think people the leading the points leading points per game, the leading scorer in the NBA basically, and now MVP is on the same team as the man who got the most assists in the league.
Yeah,
Like I don't think people understand how crazy that is. Like
that's
that
pretty
duel right
crazy.
there
It's pretty
is
crazy.
offensively prolific. Tyrese Maxey stepping into his own, and obviously you always have Tobias Harris to fall back on as a third,
Yeah,
fourth
man.
option when need be.
Kobe's a
Um,
beast too. He's been
Definitely,
balling.
he's always been a anchor for that team. On the other end, I mean, you got the All Star duo in Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, one of the best offensive and defensive teams in the league. We're continuously on top five on both categories every year. This year, really stepped up our 3-point shooting, and shooting the lights out, and definitely a team that plan on going deep and can go deep. The
True.
problem is we got both teams that plan on going deep and can go deep. I'll be honest, and it's not even to say because it's the Heat versus Knicks, but it's almost clear to say that this is about to be uh, the Eastern Conference Finals because at the end of the day, whoever wins this, I'm not even gonna act like it's a guessing game. Whoever wins this is definitely going to the finals and
Good
beat whoever
point.
comes out that next series.
Good point.
Uh,
Real quick, I just want to say again for viewers that haven't listened to our previous episodes, I actually had the Philadelphia 76ers and the Celtics as my Eastern Conference Finals in the beginning of the year as well. I thought this was going to be the greatest matchup ever, but now we're getting to see it in the
They
second
fucked
round.
up in the first. Yeah, I promise you. When I seen the way it was matched up, I was like, I know we both gonna come out of series. I'd be honest. I'd rather face the Heat or the Bucks, and then save the 76ers for the Eastern Conference Finals for sure. But yes, gonna be a hell of a series. Even but you already know where I stand. Big C's all day. This is probably the one sport where I can be unbiased because my team is that good. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit here and act like we're just gonna smoke everybody out. Like I understand what we bring to the table, and I understand what other teams bring to the table. I already had this going 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I already had Philly stealing
Mm-hmm.
one at home. Uh,
Hmm.
Stealing one without Embiid is crazy,
That was nuts.
crazy.
That was nuts.
But 45 from Harden with a three in Horford's face to really seal the deal. Man, he had my stomach in my guts last night, man. I was feeling sick, man. I was feeling sick, but it's good to see basketball wise, like it's good to see Harden come out and do that.
Yeah, it was a good end of the
Both teams
game though. I
a
gotta get it to. That
couple
was
bad mistakes on our part on the Celtics part. But right now we got two great shooting teams, two great defensive teams, both well coached, both know each other so well. Like at this point, this is about the fourth or fifth uh postseason meeting. Pretty much, I think it's at least a third or fourth between Jason and Embiid themselves.
whew,
Um,
that's
but
crazy.
we know each other well. We play each other well, and I definitely think this is gonna be a great defensive, high IQ, very well fought close series. But I'll be honest, yeah, I'm not even gonna bore y'all telling y'all who I think is gonna win. Let's hear what you got to say.
Nah, I feel you, but and you know what? That's interesting that they've played this many series. Just like you said, five. That's crazy because obviously the last 3 years at least we've seen them play against each other. Probably even 4 years they've
That's
played
what I'm
against each
saying.
other.
We at least I don't even know what it is off the top of my head, but just being a Celtic fan, just off of
I
pure
know at least
memory,
the last three.
like at
Yes,
least
yeah,
four
we've
for
been
me.
playing. Yeah, yeah, I'm playing against each other, and it's been back and forth. One year Philly won against you guys, then obviously you guys had the revenge. You know, last year. Well, it
Nah,
was 3 years
I
ago.
would
If you
say
remember, Philly.
we were scraping them consecutively up until the year before the finals.
Yeah, that's
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 when
the
they
one I'm talking
finally,
about.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
that's the one where you guys lost and they made it to the, you know, they made it far. They had a decent team. I think that's when
Actually,
they had
I
Al
don't know.
Horford. Actually, they had Al Horford before when you guys let him go for a little bit for that 1 year, and then he came back to you guys, and that's a huge piece in this series. I think Al Horford is gonna need to ball out for you guys. I'm surprised that you guys lost with Embiid. I'm not gonna lie, that was very surprising to me. It was a close game, but having Maxi and Harden
Oh,
both out
yeah,
there
I was
balling
right.
out.
I was about to say we have not lost to them yet.
What in the
No, yeah,
playoffs?
and yes, and that's why I tell you, no matter who they bring to
Okay,
the
so
table, I've never been scared of them. This is the
right.
first year that like they actually have a team that can beat us. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, they're scary though. You're right. You're right. Having the MVP candidate, I mean the MVP player this year, plus the most assists, in per average, obviously in Harden, that's huge right there. Having a third guy in Maxi is huge. I mean, I think that has happened before because I think Jokic has been the MVP when he was the top assist getter in the NBA as well. Actually, he had like 10.3 assists, I think, in 1 year, if I remember correctly, and he was number one in assists the first year he got his MVP. But as far as Harden, he played a crucial role in this first game, and he's gonna have to play a crucial role in the series. I think that if Embiid doesn't play second game, that's gonna be huge for you guys because you guys are gonna need to definitely try to out rebound them. What I was seeing yesterday and for game one, I was seeing Nas Reed out rebounding everybody on the Celtics, and I was
Mm-hmm.
so surprised. You guys had Grant Williams out there, you guys had Al Horford out there, even Jason Tatum was trying to, post not post him up, but box him out to get rebounds, and it was just interesting. Nas Reed, especially in that fourth quarter, he was definitely out rebounding you guys, and he even came out and got some obviously fouls like where he could shoot some free throws. He made his name known in that free throw line though yesterday, and that's a big reason why they kept in that game. One thing I will say though is you guys didn't shoot a free throw until the fourth quarter, which was crazy to me. That was an insane stat that I saw. In the first game, the Celtics didn't shoot any free throws until that fourth quarter, and to that point, Philly had only shot five. At the end of it, they shot a little bit more, but I'll be honest. I don't think the second game is going to be anything like that. I think it's going to be way more physical, a lot more inside, especially if Embiid's not there. You guys are going to try to take up that inside. I see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown going in inside. I do think that you guys are going to steal a game in Philly as long as Embiid's not there. One stat I did hear that was interesting though is that Philly hasn't won a playoff game in Boston since 1988. Can you believe that? And that was the first time they did it, a playoff game in Boston. And I was like, what? That is an insane stat. And when they said that, I was thinking to myself, well, let's look at the rest of the series. You got game two in Boston. Obviously, game three and four are going to be in Philly, but three out of the next four games are going to be in Boston. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not going to be a close series because I think it is. I think once Embiid gets in there, you guys are going to have a problem in that inside. I think the
Mm-hmm.
Celtics are definitely going to have issues, being able to hold down Embiid down low. I think a lot of guys are going to get fouls. I think you guys are going to get guys fouling out, and Embiid is just going to be doing what he does: stay down there boxing people out, or backing them down and passing the ball to the outside and trying to make people hit threes. Like you said, both of these teams are shooting teams, and you saw that even in the first game. I think that's going to continue, and throughout the series, you're going to see a lot more of this. And once Embiid comes back, is going to be more back in, like obviously Philly backing you guys down and you guys trying to go inside with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's what I think it's going to be because I think the shooting, you have. Both of these teams know they have it. You guys both have players that can shoot a lot of threes, even role players that can shoot threes. So what's really going to be interesting in this series is going inside. I got this as a 7-game series. I think this is going to be close as hell. I really do. I think this series is going to be the closest series we're going to have in the second round. Maybe we'll talk later about maybe Lakers and Warriors, but I just want to say, like, I think that this series is going to be the most interesting. I had this in the beginning of the season as one of my Eastern Conference Finals, and I thought it was going to be because both of these teams have role players that can play multiple positions and they can defend multiple positions as well. I mean, we already talked about Tobias Harris and obviously Al Horford. He can defend whoever he wants, but you got Marcus Smart on your side, which is going to be a huge
Hmm.
help for Harden to guard against Maxi. I mean, even if he wants to like guard guys like Furkaz if he comes on, tries to shoot threes or guys like that. I think that Smart is going to be huge in this series. So I got to the 7 game series. I want to know, you got to the 7 game too?
100%. I definitely do think they're gonna have to pick up on some things defensively. Obviously Celtics are great at doing that. So I think they will do that. Definitely got a lot of shooters over there that we have to focus on. But yet we are one of the best defensive teams. The only thing I would say I do hate is since we do have such good perimeter defenders, because we even got Derek White is a great perimeter defender as well. I just really wish that we would fight over certain screens, but in today's positionless basketball, everything gets switched. Like
Switch. Yeah.
watching Harden hit that 3-0 over Horford was
Yeah.
disgusting. It's like,
I
bro,
agree.
come on,
Yeah, but
like
but I'll be honest, like that's a step back three that Harden's gonna take. How do you not know Harden's gonna step back and do a three? Like that's
because
Harden's move.
he dropped 42 points by
I get it,
not
but
by
that's
cooking.
like he created that move for the NBA and now everyone's using it. And
Not
like
to
that's
mention
his move.
they didn't even need a three.
Nah, you're right.
They just needed
They
a
didn't,
two.
but that's
So
Harden's
it's
move
there's
though.
so many. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different variables, and Harden's quick. You know what I'm saying? That shot goes up so quick. It wasn't like it was horrible defense, but he's just so quick to pull the trigger. But they definitely played a great game. I definitely do think it's gonna go 7. Um,
Yeah.
I would tell you I did double check. Uh, it's only been 2. So it feels like more, but I guess 2018 when we held Ben Simmons to one point. That was the first time we faced this 76ers team. And
Hmm.
then 2020 was the second time we faced them and we 4-0'd them. And
Oh,
this would
really?
be the
So
third
it
time.
wasn't the last 3 years.
Yeah,
Hmm.
no, this is actually the third time. It feels like more, but we honestly between us, we faced the Sixers, we faced
The
the Bucks,
Bucks,
and we faced the Heat constantly.
the
Um,
last 3 years of season. So you
yeah,
know what? It
yeah.
was the Heat actually.
The
I'm
Heat,
sorry. I mistake
the
that.
Heat we
It was the
faced,
Heat
yes,
that you guys faced in the last 3 years. That's what it was. And they beat you guys
they
once. You
beat us
guys
in the
beat them
bubble.
once.
Yeah, yeah, they beat us in the bubble. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so it wasn't the Sixers, but this is definitely going to be a different series. Both those series weren't competitive. Obviously, this will be. They already won a game without Embiid. Let you know it's a whole different team.
True.
But no, needless to say, I got Celtics in 7. No surprise there. Biased and
Nice.
unbiased, I do think they are the better team. I do think they can pick it up to better. And in this well fought series that goes to Game 7 at home, I'm always going to choose the Celtics.
Nice. Nice. And I'll be honest, like that's not a bad choice at all. And when I heard Embiid was going to be out game 1 and game 2, before I heard that, I think I had this as a 6 games series. I wouldn't have had this in 7.
But then they
I
won
really
one.
thought it was gonna be, but now seeing that game yesterday and seeing them win, I got this 6-7 game. I do think it's gonna be close. Every game is gonna be competitive. Maybe one or two are gonna be a little bit, uh, probably like towards the fourth quarter, you guys are gonna like win by 15, or the Phillies gonna win by 15 at home, maybe. But after after the first 4 games, I expect both of these teams to be 2-2. I expect the Celtics to keep winning at home after that. That means that I got it as a 7 game series with the Celtics winning in game 7. When I heard that stat, the Celtics have not lost in their building against Philadelphia in the playoffs since 1988. I was like, what? That's the first time they
So,
lost there? And I was like, how
and it's
crazy is
actually
that?
before that because I got all the playoffs history. Before 22, we played in 1985,
Was it
and
85?
the
I thought they
only
said
game we
88.
lost was at 76ers. So it was 70. It was 82.
Oh, 82.
82.
82 is the last
82
thing.
was the
I,
last
I
time they
swear I thought
went
it
in
was 88
Boston.
when they were saying it, but it was 82, and that's even crazier. That's right there.
And we
So you're
lost.
talking.
That was our 7 game series. and we lost. It was a 7 game series, and we lost 2 games at home in
Right.
'82.
And that it's been that long since Philadelphia has gone to Boston and won a game in the playoffs. So that tells you how good the Celtics are at home in the playoffs, and that tells you how
Hmm.
good they're gonna be. I expect them to keep balling out. I think Jason Tatum is just gonna he's gonna start balling out, and I do expect Jalen Brown to take off that mask, bro. Demask. Let's see the real Jason, or Jalen Brown. I want to see the real Jalen Brown ball out. But I do think Jason Tatum's going to ball out this series. I expect him to, win game 5 and then game 7, turn up and possibly even go for 40 points and win that game 7. I think the Celtics are made for a team like this because it is going to be back and forth. And as you saw, even game 1 was close and a lot of 3-pointers need to be made to keep up with Philadelphia. You guys can do that. The Celtics can and you guys can defend the 3 ball when you need to. So that's what it's going to depend on. And I love the way that the Celtics have been pushing the ball around even in the first series. Yeah, they had a few tough spots in the fourth quarter of game 1 against Philadelphia, but I don't expect that to happen in the rest of the series.
100%, 100%. And even with the game 1 loss, we both expect this to still be competitive.